some people would argue, yeah, well, you should be saving people's lives. Go treat burn victims and trauma. But my answer to that is normally like, man, I'm telling you, don't hate the player, hate the game. The fact that I make people feel confident because they look good, because they like their jawline. The number of times I've had people say, you literally changed my life, and like start crying. It's crazy.
Ben is the absolute, positively, no questions asked, jaw king of the world.
It's much easier to be you than anybody else, and you are always going to be the best you than anybody else, right? So nobody else can be me. So that I'm putting myself in a position right there that, boom, you can copy, you can try, but you're never going to be able to be me. All right, guys, welcome to More You, where we cut the bull and we get to more you. We show you how to get there, how to be better you. Me and Dom are still learning. Stay tuned. We're going to interview people that show us how to become better ourselves, and that's what we got. Let's get to work.
I like that. Ben, what happened today in your world?
Today, we had a beautiful day today, Dom. You'll be happy.
Yeah.
Dom is my boss. I think we should
I
get
am
that
not
out there,
your
by the way.
boss. That's total. That's no. What happened? Did you have a good day?
More or less. We had three cases today, actually.
I love that.
Made some people, gave them the confidence, made them pretty. We're in the new office. We're building ORs. I mean, it's beautiful. We had a really busy day all over the place. Then I got home, and my kids, I missed, or I was supposed to pick up Lola from practice, and I was a little bit late. So,
but you made it happen.
I made it happen.
So you had a good day.
I had a great day.
Awesome.
And it's not even over, man. Here we go.
No, I mean, there's more to come. In the spirit of work-life balance, I actually ran out of a dinner at my own house with friends to say I have to go. I got to go be with my buddy Ben and do this awesome podcast together. So trying to get the work-life balance, and my wife was like, "Look, are you okay if we have people over tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, as long as I'm out by 7:00.
We can bring them in if we need, you know."
So, anyways, I'm glad we're both shuffling. Obviously, today is a fun day because we're going to get a chance to actually interview Ben. And I have to tell you something, how I want to just confess something. I don't know anything about you. I've known you now for almost 3 years, and I don't know anything about you. And
it's almost 5 years, I think, Dom, dude. We're like almost 5 years.
Oh, shoot, it could be that long. But I was just thinking how much I don't know about you, which I thought this is going to be so much fun. I mean, and look, you're like probably one of the most like famous plastic surgeons on TikTok, for sure. At least the most foul-mouthed one on TikTok. But I don't know about Ben. So today I'm really going to dig in. I want to get in this. I want to know what's going on. So Ben, where did this all start? Where did you start? Where are you from? And were you one of those kids who just always wanted to be a doctor? Like, was that you as a kid? Let's start there.
You know, no, not by any means. I grew up in Flint, Michigan. We mentioned it earlier. Someone didn't have all their bills paid, and I said, "Don't worry, I know a guy." I grew up in Flint, Detroit, Metro Detroit kind of area. So no, but by no means did I ever think I was going to be a doctor. I wanted to be an architect way back when, but I was the kind of kid who wouldn't go to school. You know, they took me to, I think it was Young Fives at the time when, like, you're not ready for kindergarten. I wouldn't write my name. I wouldn't, do that kind of stuff. So, and even through high school, I didn't really have particularly good grades. I mean, I always did well on tests, but homework, that kind of stuff, I was never like...
Were you a partier?
Didn't vibe with me.
Were you a partier?
I was kind of a partier. Yeah, I could get after it. Back in the day, I could get after it. I was a partier. I still am, I guess. Well, not a partier. I still am very competitive. In high school, anybody would ask you, I was like the most competitive guy out there.
Were you playing sports?
Play sports, yep. Pretty much all sport. I mean, back then you used to play multiple sports. Now the kids they take one sport and they have to go,
do that all
4
year.
times, every season they're playing the same one. Yeah, I was basketball, football, baseball. I ran track. Yeah, but no, doctor was not in the mix for me.
When did you get serious? Was it like 11th grade, 12th grade?
No, yeah, like I said, I want to be an architect. I thought my old man had a construction company, so I used to work with him like all day, every day when it got down to it. Like 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'd be working for him. So my goal was to be an architect and build houses. And then when I was in college, it was my sophomore year in college. So I was like taking math and drafting courses and really thinking that. The economy was doing shitty at one moment. My mother's a nurse, and she's like, I don't think you should be an architect, man. You're not going to make that much money. The economy sucks. It's very dependent on that. You should do medicine. And I was, actually at that point I was just partying and going to school. So I was getting good grades. And I did in college, I had a 4.0. Like I didn't get anything. I was just really good at college because all they do is take tests. You didn't have to do any homework. If you do good on the test, you're good. So I was like, I was a good test taker. I was like one of those people. So I was doing really good on the test. I was like, okay, I'll take the MCAT. So I took the MCAT. That's like the med school entry exam.
Yeah.
I did pretty good on that. Then you apply to med school, and then it just kind of like evolved. And before I knew it, I was in med school. I was like,
So
shit.
super inspirational because you basically didn't have any direction until like deep into being a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm unsure.
I didn't really even make probably the decision until, like last minute. Like you have to kind of apply to med school your junior year of college. That's when you have to, submit your scores and stuff. But no, I was just figuring it out, man,
Wow. Okay. So that's super inspirational. And especially because, there's a lot of pressure on kids. Like my own kids are like, what am I going to do?
They feel like they need to know when they're in 8th grade what they want to do with life.
100%.
I thought I was going to be in the NFL. Honestly, when I honestly thought I'm like, 5'11", I weigh about 170 pounds. I was this big in 7th grade. So everybody thought I was going to be like a super stud. But then you get to high school, start playing with some bigger boys, and they're like, he's not that good.
You get it. When we think about like when I describe you to people and I talk to Ben, I was like, Ben's this like amazing plastic surgeon who has the craziest like TikTok persona and he does all this crazy stuff. Like, it sounds like young Ben was also kind of this ball of energy.
Yeah, it's funny. I read that. He gave me a few questions. He was going to give me a heads up on. Dom did, like a gentleman. And you said like this. How did you come up with this TikTok persona? Like honestly, it's me. Like you'd be surprised that I have patients literally flying all over the world, and they're like, "You're exactly like you are on the internet."
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's much easier to do that than to fake it. So I think most people fake it. So it seems crazy that I'm doing that. There's a lot of surgeons who are exactly like me. They just hide it to the world. So, but I think that authenticity pays off a little bit from a growth perspective on social media now, and then I think patients appreciate it. I joke around. Most of my patients I would hang out with. Like they're cool people. I think they kind of vibe with me. At the same point, again, I love my mother. My mother's like, "Oh, I would never go see you. You're on TikTok." I was like, "Good. I don't want to see your cranky old ass either." That's not my patient demographic. So I definitely turned some people off with letting them really see who I am.
So I'm gonna get more into that in a little while on just the positioning of who you are in relation to this industry and the paradox that you are, which is amazing. But I want to just ask a couple more questions. So I'm still thinking about you in high school. Lots of girls. Were lots of dating going on? What was it?
I held my own.
You did okay.
Yeah,
did you first love in high
school? I think I did better in college than high school.
Okay.
High school, I was like all about sports. I think kids they think they maybe have relationships younger now, but I was busting my butt with sports. That was like my number one thing. I thought I was gonna be in the NFL.
Got first love in high school?
Failed that, but I would say I had somebody I dated for 2 years, pretty much.
First heartbreak? When was that?
God, man. It sounds horrible, but I didn't have any much heartbreak.
Get
from that
out of here!
Yeah.
You telling me you skated by with no heartbreak?
It's just not. I'm a lover, not a fighter, Dom. I was there to make people happy.
Wow. Okay, now I'm seeing it. Now I'm seeing all of it. I'm getting it. Did you meet your wife in college?
I met my wife when I was sophomore, like second year med student. So no, after that, yeah.
Okay. Is she kind of the yin or your yang?
I would say, you could probably say that way, yeah. More or less. She's the complete opposite of me. Well, that's not true. We have some similarities, but yeah, we're pretty different.
She balance you out?
She tries to.
She tries to. Okay. I think one of the things I'm just thinking of is, when you're in college and you finally make this move to be a doctor, what got you towards plastic surgery? Because there's a lot of choices you could have made, and there's could have been all kinds of different surgeons and done well. Like, what was it that said, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, a lot of people don't really get this. I talked about the last one where it's so laid out for you. There's so much time, and you just kind of follow the course. You do what you're told. You take the test. So you get into med school. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Then you rotate on surgery. You rotate on OB-GYN. You rotate on pediatrics. You do cardiology, all the medical ones. And you kind of just think, okay, I like this, and maybe I like that, but you have so much time to kind of figure it out. As I said, I'm a pretty competitive person, so I kind of wanted the more competitive ones, just because I wanted to see if I could do it, type of thing. So once I decided I want to do surgery, then I kind of wanted to do neurosurgery first. Was like my inkling, just because everybody thinks like, oh my god, that's so cool. I should be a
You're way
neurosurgeon.
too radical for neurosurgery. So
Yeah,
anyways.
it's funny because you rotate with the neurosurgeons,
Right.
And one of the guys was like, I remember I was in the OR, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do neurosurgery, and he's like, I don't think you fit neurosurgery, man. He's like, you're too nice of a guy to be a neurosurgeon. And I was like, okay, and I just kind of, you start looking into it. He's like, he's right. Those guys are all kind of dickheads, and their lives suck. So then you kind of rule that one out. And you just kind of evolve, and you do it, and you apply, and you get in, and I did head and neck surgery first,
Okay.
and then from there, which is a super competitive one because it's like derm in the sense that you make a lot of money and a relatively easy life.
Right.
And then after that, I ended up wanting to do plastics, so then I did a fellowship in plastics, and that was my route. Plastics has its obvious benefits, but it's probably I argue, I think most surgeons would, particularly the competitive ones, that plastic surgery is the hardest specialty of all of them, man. I mean, we're taking beautiful people and cutting them open you could argue, for no reason.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's a lot of pressure. So, if somebody has a heart attack, you split their chest open. Even if they die, you're like, well, they had a heart attack. Sorry.
Right. That's a good point. And
And
is there this may be weird, but is there a certain kind of satisfaction that you're kind of looking for out of this? Is there something about it where it scratches some kind of satisfying itch?
You know what? I haven't thought about it that deeply, but I'm sure it is. I mean, I like the praise. I like people to post their results. I like people to know that I'm the one doing it. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be something deeper down in there. I mean, I'm very happy. I love what I do now. So, I think people will, ask you, would you do it all again? Because it's a long road. I mean, it's a lot of work. You're busting your balls. You're staying up late. But yeah, I would do it again. I'd say at this point, I would repeat it.
Do you think there's a bit of a rock star element to this?
Dude, maybe, yeah. That's probably, yeah. I mean, being seen and people knowing who you are. Yeah. I mean, I can't sing. I have no tune or tone or anything like that. So it's probably my best chance to become famous is this. You know what I mean? And I told you I failed the NFL. So yeah, there probably is a little bit of a rock star component to it.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think I would think there would be. And listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that
you just got to own it, man.
To get satisfaction out of people getting satisfaction from the work that you do on them, for them. And we always like to say, we're not in the we're not in the look good business. We're in the feel good business. We're in the feel good business. Nobody's doing plastics or aesthetics or getting fit or doing any of those other things because they don't want to feel good in the end.
People critique me. I have a lot of skills. I put a lot of effort. I paid a lot. School was a lot, and some people would argue, yeah, well, you should be saving people's lives. Go treat burn victims and trauma, which I did for a long time. I don't really do much of it anymore. But my answer to that is normally man, I'm telling you, don't hate the player, hate the game. The fact that I make people feel confident because they look good, because they like their jawline. The number of times I've had people say, you literally changed my life, and start crying. It's crazy. It's
so cool.
I almost feel bad in a way, man, I made you look prettier and you're that much happier.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad from a societal perspective, but that's how it goes, man. So until you change that, you can't hate on me.
But I think we're not supposed to feel good about it. But the bottom line is, if you've been looking at yourself the whole time and you're like, I don't like this part of myself.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden that part changes into something you do like. It's not that you weren't okay beforehand. It's just you've solved something that you've been looking at for your entire life.
I've done 85-year-old women and men that, they didn't have when they were young, they didn't have the money to pay for it. And I mean, this isn't a diss to any 85-year-old out there, but I didn't make them hot. I just treated the little thing that bugged them. They now had the money to pay for it, and they're happy, and they can, it's beautiful, yeah, in a way. It's like, man, I mean, it almost like brings tears to my eyes. Like, shit, I can make this person happy. They pay me a ton of money. I mean, it's just like, it's like too good to be true, right?
Yeah, no, but again, I just don't think we should feel bad about it. And speaking of that, like, how do you handle kind of this new world of just these unrealistic expectations being pushed out on social media, not to mention AI when it comes to results? And
Dom, I have a book I'm writing right now called The Girl with Many Faces, El Gore Beauty. And I kind of coined this phrase, El Gore Beauty, like the algorithm-driven beauty standards. And it kind of dials down to, like, my goal is to make people happy. It's honest. Like, I mean, I'm a happy guy. I want people to be happy. If I don't think I can make them happy, I don't want to really try to help them, because then that's when there's a disconnect. Now, like you said, with the it used to just be a touched-up Photoshop magazine and a Time magazine. Now it's literally an AI-manipulated photo that makes their eyeballs, the white of their eyeball, bigger, which is not humanly possible. Right. But they don't recognize that. They show me their AI. So you cannot make those people happy. And it's hard to really explain it to them, too. So I think I'm figuring it out to deal with it. I'm actually working on a large language model with my wife. My wife's an astrophysicist by trade. Jeez. And now she was like doing AIML for JP Morgan for a while. So we're building this model where I'm going to submit my before and afters, like the patients I've done. It's going to learn on those models. Then, Dom, you're going to submit your photo, and it's going to say, based on Dr. Coughlin's before and afters, this is what he could do to your face. Wow. The reason being, one, obviously it's good marketing, it's funny, it's kind of a clever thing. But then it's going to give them, ideally, a realistic idea of what the result that I can produce for them. Then they pay me for it, I deliver it, they're happy, bingo,
That actually makes a ton of sense.
It's cool, right? Yeah.
Because, I mean, are you finding, just in general, it sounds like the answer is yes, but just like a massive disconnect from patients on like what is possible?
Possible, yeah. Not massive, I would say, but slowly trending, and you can see it rising. So, I'm a straight shooter. If I don't think, and I'm lucky to be busy enough that if I don't think I can do it, I just say, dude, I can't do that, or sorry, it's just not possible. And I just normally say, be careful, because people are going to tell you they can do that, and then you're going to spend a ton of money and not be happy. Like, it's just not like, figure something else out.
What do you think is like generally the problem when it comes to dysmorphia? And for those out there that don't understand dysmorphia, it's basically looking in the mirror and seeing something different, right? Is that the layman's part of it?
It's more complicated than that, really, Dom. Like, so there's like true body dysmorphic disorder, and those people see something that's not really there, so that the general person wouldn't see. Dysmorphia means, yeah, you're what you see is not lining up with what you feel, So. Right. Like, you could say the gender dysmorphia, or so they see a male or female, they feel the opposite. So there can be healthy dysmorphia, there can be a disorder of dysmorphia, but essentially, when people see things that aren't there and they like obsess about this, and it's really not there, there's nothing that can change that will make them happy. So those people, it just gets down to the crux of it. You don't want to try to help those people because you can't help them. Right. Because they will never be satisfied. I mean, we've all, as a plastic surgeon, we all have patients like this. Where we missed it. Like, damn, I mean, they look great. I did what they wanted, but it wasn't what they want. You're just never gonna make these people happy.
No.
And it's unfortunate because they spent money. Mm-hmm. I'm talking to them every month now still. Like, it's just like this cycle, and it's like, damn. And we do our best to not get there because, even if you give their money back, they're still not happy. Like, it's just this like, it's like this frustrating moment.
God, that's gotta be tough. Personally, what do you call it? Like, so I look in the mirror and I see like a younger, more handsome person than I see in photos. What the hell is that? Like, what
for you? Yeah.
What am I suffering from?
You know what?
That, man?
I joke around that, Zoom and photographs and all that's created by a plastic surgeon just to make people think they're not quite happy enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just the angle, the tightening, the lighting. I mean, look at me. I look awesome right now. I got the perfect lighting. I'm not stupid. I know what I'm doing. Like you get the lighting right.
In photos, man. Like, I look in photos and I'm like, I am at least 10 years younger in person than I am in photo.
Think about it. There was no point in time where we had hundreds or thousands of photos of ourselves reproduced and we're looking at them like the same day. I mean, just imagine, like, people joke, like, how many pictures of your children do you have? You have thousands of them. How many pictures of there are you when you were 10? Like 4. Yes. So it's just like, it's just the reality. It's just like shoved in our face.
That's actually a good point. I didn't think about it that way.
It's good for aesthetic companies and plastic surgeons, but probably bad for the world. I mean,
it is. And
I don't think it's going anywhere.
I'm super frustrated from that sometimes when I see it. Yeah. And
we can help you out, Dom. I can help.
You got a couple. You basically got a couple things that you've been like looking at me. You've been like looking at me. You're like, there's a couple things I want to work on with Dom. Actually, super fast. I remember I was like 23, and there's this girl I really liked, and I was just like, oh man, she's just incredible. And I got her phone number. I called her up and I'm like, hey, it's Dominic and everything like that. She goes, oh yeah, I know who you are. And I'm like, yeah, we're talking for a while. And I was like, yeah, I remember you had like the most beautiful eyes. And she's like, oh yeah. She goes, you know what I remember actually most about you is, she goes, you have really big nostrils. And I was crushed. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound great. She goes, no, I'm into that. It's like Judd Nelson.
Like bull, yeah. I mean, that's got to be aggressive or some guy masculine somehow or something. That? Yeah, you just got to. You know what? There's somebody out there who likes something.
When you kind of look it over, like I think people know about you as you're a surgeon, but you also do a lot of non-surgical. You do a lot of Botox fillers, all those kind of things. Like, when you look at like medical aesthetic surgery, those types of things, like where are things kind of going wrong and where are things going right, do you think?
It's a tough question. I think one thing that I particularly do really well, and I do a lot of things really well.
Well, a lot of people say
this isn't a diss to anybody, by the way.
Yeah.
It'll sound like it, but I have trouble giving feedback to people without it sounding bad, but the dermatologists say, don't do surgery. Surgery looks stupid. It's bad because they don't do surgery. There are plastic surgeons who say, don't do the non-surgical stuff. It's stupid. It's going to make the facelift harder because they don't do the non-surgical stuff. So, it's somewhere in between, obviously. I think the non-surgical stuff can be done very well, very natural. You know the number of people walking around that look super hot and they just have a little tweak here and there? You don't know, but there are, trust me. Famous people, non-famous people everywhere. And then same thing, like from the dermatology perspective, there's a lot of people that get really nice surgery done after Sculptra, after Radius, after Morpheus. Yes, it's true. I'm bursting it now. You can do a facelift after all these treatments. Even threads, it's not a problem. I did a facelift on a CEO of a thread lift company. She's like, I've had everything under the sun, including threads over years and years. The surgery went great. I videoed the whole thing. We're going to publish it because she's like very pro. Amazing. I mean, yeah, the tissue's a little different. You may have to adjust your approach, but there's that component of it where people are fear-mongering each other because we all make money doing this stuff.
Right.
And then, unfortunately, some of the regulations in different countries, in different states, all over, almost anybody can start doing this. And for better or worse, we are incentivized, both surgically and non-surgically. The more we do, the more we get paid. I was just in Spain for 2 weeks. I didn't make $1. But when I'm cutting, I make money. So, to every hammer, you're a nail is the truth of it. So if you don't have an honest hammer, you got to be careful with what you're working with. So it probably just really, truly comes down to like morals and incentives, to be honest, Dom, if I had to be out like truly honest about it. Because I think even the ones making people look stupid, they know what they're doing. There are maybe some of it happens by accident, but I think most of it's aligning incentives.
That makes sense. I don't know about you, but I'm tired all the time. And the only cure for that, either some medical grade drugs or just going to the hyperbaric chamber.
It's like taking a deep breath on steroids. It's like, but they jam it in every cell. Not only that, there's an anti-inflammatory component. If you were to have any injury or surgery or anything like that, boom, science. It's that simple. It's going to make it better, faster.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that it does all these different things. Chronic pain, chronic fatigue, these kind of things. MD Hyperbaric has the right type of chambers. Don't settle for anything less than something that's more of a medical grade chamber. They are in so many different locations. Make sure that you go to mdhyperbaric.com to check them out. You could even tell them that Ben and Dom sent you from More You.
MD Hyperbaric.
.com. What do you feel is kind of going right in the industry right now?
I would say it's leaning more towards the Anne Hathaway style change, the natural tweak mint, looking good, the maintenance. I think the focus on regenerative treatments, preserving longevity, all of those terms are really sexy and hot right now. And those are great, nice ways to make people look good, feel good, naturally nice, easy, little by little. So I think those are good things. Even just the fact that we're talking about this, Dom, I think is important because that gets the word out there. One, that there can be done poorly. Two, that it can be done really well. So, all of, more information, the better. There's a ton of patients out there that are very happy. And, a ton of surgeons out there that are doing good work, and dermatologists and injectors, nurses, NPs, PAs, whatever, all that. So
yeah, there's a lot of
there's
good.
more good than bad, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot more good than bad. It's sexy to hear about the bad ones.
Sure.
It's crazy. It makes a good, it looks much better if you're on the camera with huge lips than, the one who just looks pretty naturally,
But I think I like what you're saying, dude. I just summarize that. I mean, everything is going more towards natural, and the fact that, I know it's sometimes a dirty word to say, but going more towards de-aging and not enhancing, but it's more like de-aging. And I think you're right. I think that's where it's going right. I want to totally switch gears. We talked a lot about kind of where you've come from, how you got to this. We talked a lot about the industry. What I think is amazing about your story is you've built this incredible brand. And you built it from the ground up. You built it with your own two hands. And I think that's the entrepreneurial part of this that gets me excited just with my background, and so impressed the first day I met you to just see kind of what you did. What I want to actually just go back for a second on that. I want to hear about how you built the brand. You basically were the first plastic surgeon to go out on social media and drop F-bombs and be yourself and be authentic. And it's incredible. I mean, you were literally a pioneer. No one ever really did this. And this was what was going through your head when you decided to just crack the seal on that.
I've always been a little bit forward speaking and act, not that I don't care what other people think, but I do my best to continue that and just do what I want, and then things work out. So I think that's something for everybody to kind of think about. That was one. Two, it's much easier to be you than anybody else, and you are always going to be the best you than anybody else, right? So nobody else can be me. So that I'm putting myself in a position right there that boom, you can copy, you can try, but you're never going to be able to be me. Whereas if I'm acting like, a plastic surgeon with, my tie up like this and, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, anybody can fake that. So it really became just my necessity to grow and to become unique to the point where I was the only one that people could get, you know what I mean? So,
right.
And then it paid off. Authenticity, which is really weird in this social media world, which is completely fake by most accounts. Authenticity pays off in that world. Maybe that's why, I don't know, but people like it. They just like the rawness. And as I said, I turn off a lot of people as well with my rawness and who I am. But yeah, I just kind of learned like, shit, it's working. People like it. It's easy. And then, I do have a method to the madness. I think about this every day, all day. You do something funny, you do something raw, you show the staff, boom, you show a before and after. So you got to prove who you are, right, along the process. So I think about it a lot. A lot of this SEO stuff, too complicated. I don't get it. Paper marketing, I'm not a marketing person, but I can put my effort towards social media and see the payoff. Right. And it's relatively free. So like you said, the entrepreneurial part of it, it's like I put the effort, I get more consults, I do more surgery. It's so effort, it's like running a marathon. My brand, really, I've always wanted to micro focus, niche, just like get out there. This is what I do it well. If you don't want this, go to somebody else. If you want it, you should come to me because I'm the best. And like I knew I was going to always do something that I'm going to be the best at. Like put me up next to the guy. I'll do 20 of them and he can do 20 of them right, or her, 20 of them right next to me, and I promise you I'm going to do better. It's just the reality.
Competitive
Why?
nature.
Because I just do more of them. It's just like, you cannot beat me. I promise, So yeah, that's just how I lined it up.
Well, I mean, that's obviously, and if people are listening, they're not aware and aren't in their car and they don't want to look it up, Ben is the absolute, positively, no questions asked, jaw king of the world. Is that fair?
And listen, yeah, it is fair. It's not because I'm magic or, I argue with people that the best surgeon in the world, me, and the worst surgeon in the world, our skills are much closer than you think. We could, if you cut somebody's arm and had a suture you cut both their arms, one down the middle, and we both suture them together. I'm talking the best surgeon in the world and the worst. It's not going to be that different. What makes us the best is how many of the one thing we do. So I'm going to do 300 jaw lines this year. I don't do noses. I don't do blephs. I don't do boobs, butts, anything. Only jaw lines. So you cannot be better than me. It's just like I'm doing more than that guy.
You're focused.
I just hate to tell you, like
you're focused and you're doing volume. You got your 10,000 hours basically on just jaws.
It's really,
jaws.
yeah. I mean, I'm past that now from
Sure
this. So it's how it goes. And there's some arguments against the 10,000 hours I've heard recently. Like, you don't want to super micro focus, but in surgery, in flying airplanes, you want to micro focus. Like, there's a few things that you do want those 10,000 hours in. I would say my argument would be, surgery, airplanes.
How about
when
like people are putting their bodies in your hands, you want them to have more than 10,000 hours?
And you want it to be in that thing. I mean, and it's a beautiful, honestly, selfishly, it's good for me, man, because I know I can deal with it. It's not stressful.
Yeah.
Like, early in your career, surgeries are stressful. I remember when, a hot person would walk into my office and I'd like get nervous because I'm like, oh, shit, I'm going to cut their face open.
Right.
Now I love it because it's easy to make hot people hot.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just make them a little hotter. So, it's beautiful. Like, but early in your career, you're like, your first 100 cases then of that thing. I mean, you're slicing their face open, literally. They're going to be on TV and people are going to be like, that guy sucks at scars. That's not, if you're not good at it, you don't do it.
No, that makes a ton of sense. And I think I like what you just said there. You got to have more than 10,000 hours if you're going to do this. So Ben, I know you work a ton of hours. Like, how are you balancing this off against like trying to be a good husband and father and like, how you doing this?
I'm doing my best. I mean, I never really feel completely satisfied or even partially satisfied. When I'm working, I feel like I should be home. When I'm home, I feel like I should be working. So there's always that pull. I kind of feel like that means I'm in a good spot. I just went on that vacation to Spain in 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, I think I have a little too much family time. I think I'm ready to go to work. So that's when I try to make the flex. Yeah, I try to be as involved as I can with my kids. I'm lucky now that I'm busy enough. We got good enough support from the MSP side and my team that they work pretty good, man. So I'm pretty efficient at work. Okay. When I'm doing surgery, I get the surgery done. When I'm not making money, I get out of there and get home and try to make things happen.
Are you able to shut it off when you get home? Like just your brain?
Yeah, I try. I mean, I probably could sleep better if I did it right. No, the short answer, no, but I don't know if you should shut it off completely. If you want to be the best, can you shut it off? I don't know that answer. I'm still trying to figure that part out. So no, yes. But when I'm at work, I'm thinking about my kids too. So it's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
And my wife. Don't get me in trouble with my wife. I'm thinking of my wife.
But how do you and your wife check in basically? Like, so tonight, okay, we're going to finish recording tonight and everything. Are you going to go snuggle and watch TV with your wife and is there some of that?
You know what? We don't even have a TV in our house.
I know
it's
a
little
here.
bit weird. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, we have one in the kids have one in the basement, but it's just hooked to Netflix, so they get on Netflix. But it's funny because everybody that's in our main floor is like, "Where the hell is the TV?" I was like, "Yeah, we don't really have one." I put the sauna. I just built the sauna and put it on the rooftop.
Right.
So we get in almost every day.
Okay.
Pretty much every day we get in for 20 minutes at the end of the day.
So you and the wife get in the sauna at the end of the day.
Yeah. And we normally just kind of catch up at that time, The kids are dinking around downstairs before they go.
I mean, it sounds sexy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
you know what? You think it'd
good
be
check-in?
That was kind of my goal. I kind of I'm like, babe, this is why I bought the damn thing. But it's not working out so good in that. I mean, you're pretty hot. It's like 90
Yeah,
degrees
you're like,
Celsius.
get away from me, don't touch me.
I mean, this isn't like it's not like, well, I'm not, but she is. It's not like the sauna at the gym, like 60 degrees Celsius, 160 degrees Fahrenheit. This thing's like, it's hard to breathe, like it's,
Why are men
it's painful.
so attracted to women in literally any situation? But it just seems for women, it has to be, we have to have like everything perfect.
This could be a whole podcast.
This is a whole
of
episode.
itself,
We got to get the right guest on for that. Let's do that.
I'm not an expert.
Let's make sure we get.
Yeah, we should think about that. I would like, because I want to know, by the way, if there's a way to tweak it. Yeah. So no, the sauna and the sexiness is not working so good, but catch it in time. You can't take your phone in there.
Right.
It's like, it's meditation. I actually did the Wim Hof thing you sent me. I did it in there
the sauna?
the other day.
That's tough.
I can't do, yeah, exactly, because my heart rate's like 130 when I'm in there.
Hot.
But I definitely can't hold my breath.
You just got to keep. I notice I got to keep. If once you get on a roll, I think that trick on that Wim Hof breathing is forcing yourself to relax, and then all of a sudden you find that spot where you're like, oh, I'm not burning oxygen.
Not thinking about it
Because I'm not. There's no stress and anxiety. It's an incredible thing. Anyways, story for another day.
I love it. I mean, but I did that the other day. So the sauna is kind of my chilled zone.
Okay. I love that. And then so first of all, you don't have a TV in the house. I mean, dude, I gotta.
I mean, I got my laptop if there's something. It's funny because my family, we're Midwest, like I said, middle class. They're like, dude, the Lions are on, or we got to watch the game. And I'm like, pull it up on my phone, I think.
Sure,
if you
how
go
to do that
YouTube.
for you.
Yeah. I'm like so out of the loop, but
that is really awesome. I love that you and your wife have that. I like that you don't have TV. Probably it's
sauna. I recommend sauna to everybody.
It's
beautiful.
And just sorry, real quick on the children, like anything to kind of check in with them, like every night, like that try to do.
We kind of put them to bed still. Mine are 8, 9, and 10. Nice. So we have that little moment. They don't have phones yet. Great. So we have dinner every night. I'm not having it tonight with them, but we eat dinner together almost every single night, all of us. So my wife's very got that established. The European dinner is different than the American dinner. You know what I mean? It's like a deal, and you do it, and you talk and you chat. So. I thank her for that. So she's got that. That's a good time.
It's amazing. Anything in the industry right now that you think is just being talked about, and anything? It could be a procedure, it could be treatment, anything. It's just bull.
This will get me a lot of haters from the surgeon's perspective, but there's this deep plane thing going out there. A lot of people have heard it. Yeah. And while I think there's a few people out there doing a good job and patients that require it, that need it, I think it's way overcooked right now. They're doing it in super young people. This, for the people out there, the deep plane, the terminology is just talking about the depth of surgery you're getting within the face, essentially. But you're repositioning the tissues significantly, all of the tissues, the muscles, the glands, the SMAS layer, superficial musculoepineuritic system, the skin, the fat. So while there are some people that have grossly malpositioned tissues, the majority of us don't. And definitely under the age of 40, unless you've lost hundreds of pounds, you don't. I mean, you have a little bit of sag. So you can imagine repositioning tissues that weren't malpositioned. It gives an odd look. So I would say that I think that's way overkill in a big number of people. Mm-hmm. And, it's spending a ton of money. And then, those things, even in the best of hands, you're talking 10, 15 years. So if you're 40, hopefully you need 7 more of those. It does not get easier every time, right?
Sure.
So so that would be one thing. That I'm kind of like the anti-deep plane guy. Yeah. I know a bunch of people that do it well, and I'm happy to send you to them if you want it. But
overcooked.
Yeah, that's the one. And I think, man, and I see them. There's complications from everything, but the complications from that can be very significant. It's like if you think about redoing your house and you're going to redo the wood floor. Okay, there's a complication. You got a little too deep in the wood floor. Replace the under support system. But if you're knocking the house down to a whole level and redoing it, like you can get into plumbing, you can cause heating and cooling issues. I mean, so think about that when you're doing it. Yeah, that's my one kind of
What do you think is absolute magic right now when it comes to what's going right in the industry?
Man, out there right now, I don't got anything I'm really after, except they're looking into some of these like protein adjustments with CRISPR, where they're going to literally reverse aging or stop aging, and I think that's going to be powerful from our field's perspective. Even if they do it, they're looking at some topical stuff they can do just to stop the aging in the skin or reverse the aging in the skin. I think that's probably not that far out. I mean, that's 10 years out max. So that's going to be huge.
That's really
You
cool.
tie that into some of our little tweaking, contouring stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be huge. It's probably honestly the people that do a super good, deep, really, really deep CO2 laser, that's probably still the money shot.
Is that right?
I think so, in my opinion. I mean, again, of course, you do a facelift, you do some implants, those kind of stuff can make a nice change, but really getting the skin to look good, because you got beautiful skin and you're 60, you look good.
Okay.
So, even if you haven't had surgery, I mean, because then you kind of got that like 60-year-old look, but nice,
Right.
So.
Okay. I just want to ask this last question, and it's not a
here we
superfluous
go.
question, but I think it's an important question. I mean, you are super successful, not only, and I'm always have so much admiration for this, because you're a doctor. You can always go out there, you can always make money, you can always do what you got to do, but you're super successful at what you do. You're so good at that. You've built an incredible brand. You are like, you got the full package there. Is there something you would go back and speak to your younger self?
Man, that's I think that's the question, right? You know what? It's just, it all kind of happens for a reason in my mind, and you adjust. I don't think I would change anything. I would have slowed down a little bit, maybe. I was like a runner, go-getter, always thinking, how do I better myself? How do I do that? And you can kind of miss the moment. I'm still trying to do that. So, but then if you slow down, you're not as good. So that's a hard one. I don't necessarily know what I would say to myself. I would do it again, but it's definitely not the right thing for everybody.
Right.
So it's a hard one. Like, people ask me, would you tell your kids to be a surgeon or a doctor or whatever? I wouldn't tell them to. I would have done it again, but it was a lot. I went through some serious, downtime, some working my balls off, but it made me better for who I am. So, yeah, shit, I don't know. I mean, I would have definitely had a few less beers at moments. I'd probably go back to those few times I got too drunk and said, like, hey, take a few of those beers off or something. But nothing monumental. It would have just been like specific moments in time when I was like, maybe you shouldn't have done that one.
I love it. Ben, this has been, man, first of all, this has been so much fun, because in the very beginning when I said this, I didn't know you well. I feel like I know you so much better now.
I'm easy, man. I'm almost open book, Dom. You know me more than you think.
No,
you don't
but
know
it
the
was
dirty downtime to
that
it,
was really awesome, man. That was really good. I enjoyed that. For all of you out there, Dr. Ben works out of Impressions in Chicago. You can find him at Many Faces in Chicago.
Bingo.
.com. You can find him literally all over TikTok.
It's hard. And I normally tell people you can't, I'm a kind of guy, you see me everywhere. I'm all over every internet. You can't hide from me. Now, that reminds me, Dom, we should shout out MD Hyperbaric.
Oh, man, we got to talk about
sponsoring the show. So they're huge. They're growing. They're expanding. They're trying to put a hyperbaric on every corner, and a hyperbaric chamber it increases your oxygen levels internally. There's anti-aging, longevity. So they line up with us well. Really good wound healing data. So obviously my facelifts now are all going to dive in the tank, for 5 days post-op.
Yeah, I think that it's important on the hyperbaric part is this is a something that's coming, that it's been around for a while, but people are just starting to get really hip to it and really understand the incredible benefits of it. MD Hyperbaric is out there, and MD Hyperbaric has the good tanks, the tanks that have the right amount of pressure.
Medical grade. And if you can ping me on the gram or TikTok, Many Faces of Chicago, if you're a practitioner, doctor, nurse, and you want one, I can hook you up with Chris, and they can get one in your clinic. It's pretty reasonable, right? We were both surprised.
Yeah, we were totally surprised. It was awesome. We're big proponents of it. Anyways, check it all out. Ben, that was awesome, man. Thank you.
Signing off, man.